episode 134 of the 343 podcast. Welcome to you all, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining us. We have an action-packed show lined up for you today. As you can see, we've got tons of guests. You have to give me a minute just to get through everybody. So first of all, I'm going clockwise in terms of what I see on my screen. I've got my co-host AF. AF, how's it going, my man?
I'm doing good. Cautiously optimistic about the weekend as well, but we'll get into that a bit later. But yeah, I'm doing good, man.
Okay.
How are you?
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I'm all good, man. Hoping my internet doesn't cut out for some reason. So let's pray for that, because we have some issues over here where I am in the world. Next to AF, we have the Manchester Derby. It's Miguel and Ashley Preguero. Hope I didn't butcher that.
Oh, wow. You did that
pretty
well.
good. Pretty good.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. AF prepped me. So he gets a shout out for that. Thank you. And it's Manchester Derby 2.0 on some platforms. And if you got the updated version, it's 3.0.
That's correct.
100%
So,
on
welcome.
Instagram.
We're going to definitely have some fun today. Miguel, we're going to come back to you a bit later because it's your first time on the show. So we need to do a bit of an icebreaker. But I'll just go around with the rest of the group and give you time to maybe shake a bit in your boots, wondering what the
Shiver me timbers.
Shiver. Mubin Ahmad Diallo, supposedly a right winger, but playing at the right wing back. How are you doing, my man?
Tonight I'm at the left wing back on my screen.
He's switching flanks. Hard to keep up, eh? Yeah. Hammering back some tricks up his sleeve.
Nice. Man.
And
been keeping all right, yeah.
Don't be so sad, bro. You can be sad later after the preview discussion. But at least be optimistic for now.
I'm not cautiously optimistic. I'm always optimistic. So we're gonna win on Sunday.
Okay. Let's hope we can hear that.
100%.
And then lastly, I think we have a bit of a cameo. I think he's on a minute restriction today. It's Ziyaad Parker, the Spurs fan who parades in other teams' colors depending on which side of the bed he wakes up on. Welcome.
It is very much dependent on which side of the bed I wake up. That is true. But thank you so much. It's lovely to be here. Very excited for the chat this evening.
It's accurate that you're on a minute restriction, right?
Restrictions.
I got the sports scientist in my ear saying you can only go till halftime.
That's when the knee gives out, usually. Yeah, that's when the knee gives out.
That's when you become a Spurs fan again.
There we go. See, he's catching on quickly. And welcome to everyone in the chat. I see we've got the AQ was here early. Well done. You get some extra bonus points. As usual, we have Ramiz in the chat. I see Leandro. Welcome, sir. First time I'm seeing your name, but I hope it's not the last. And then obviously Hamza, who wants to show off because he supports Liverpool and England beat South Africa in the cricket after losing a few games. Now he makes an appearance. But we'll keep an eye on him. Okay, so just to take you through the run order quickly, we got a lot of things to get through. I don't know if we're going to get through all of it, but we'll try. We're going to start with the Manchester Derby preview. Obviously, with all the guests, you can see the Manchester flavor. We're going to be going to that quite in depth. And then towards the back end, we'll touch on some of the winners and losers from the transfer window. Obviously, with Riazia, before he leaves, his opinion on Daniel Levy getting the sack or being pushed out, or however you want to look at it. And then just the feelings from the group about the international break and how does it make you feel, coming in at this point of the season. Yasin, welcome, my man. I see you in the chat there. Keep it coming. So, okay, back to Miguel. Let's get this admin out of the way. So, obviously, welcome to the episode. I didn't forget about you. I've got it in the back of my head there. Just a quick one, simple question. I'm not gonna test you too much to make it fun. So it's you and 4 dinner guests, right? And obviously you're the Manchester United supporter. So who are the 4 players, managers, support staff, kit men, whoever, famous supporters of your club? Give me 4 that you'd like to have dinner with and why.
That is brilliant. The first and most obvious United player is Cristiano Ronaldo. Obvious. I don't even have to tell you why. Everyone would choose to sit with him if that was an option. So no more reasoning. The next person
Yeah,
would
Blake.
definitely be the greatest manager of all time, Sir Alex Ferguson. Also, seeing him with his child Ronaldo together would also be just the most wholesome thing that we'd all cry together. Can you just imagine already? Ronaldo, Fergie, those are the
Epic.
next two. Then you've got to bring Eric Cantona for the jokes. He's going to talk so much
Definitely.
nonsense that entire evening. It's a couple of shots. Imagine what Cantona will say. Cantona, Fergie, Ronaldo. Then we need one more. This is tough. Out of everybody. Roy Keane. Can you imagine those four? Oh my days. That's a
sounds
good
raucous.
That lineup sounds epic. I even want to join that table. A good question from Ramiz. What are we eating at this dinner? That's a good one. Let's hear.
Well, we're definitely drinking the tears of all the other fans.
Oh,
that's the
that's a
first
weird
thing.
ritual.
Definitely the City ones. What are we eating? Well, we have to have some maybe some chorizo to start off with the Portuguese flavor, and then you're gonna have some peri peri chicken, some spicy chicken, because I also love my spicy chicken. And with that many people that are gonna just yappa all night, like Roy Keane and Cantona, you need something spicy because the mouths are gonna not stop.
Exactly.
I really thought this through.
And then desserts, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what Fergie wants. We leave it up to him.
No, I like this lineup definitely. Actually, funny you mentioned Eric Cantona because I saw him in a movie recently. There was something on Netflix. I think it's called The Killer. With Omar Sy and Natalie Emmanuel, and Eric Cantona was the villain. Epic.
What? That's cool.
Tahir, why was Onana not invited? Because he's on his way to Turkey, and all the United fans are happy. That's why they all came on the show today. I'm surprised you're not on because you got the new goalie. And anyway, so speaking of United and City, let's dive straight in. Obviously, this weekend we do have United playing City. The title of our episode is this the most important Manchester derby in recent years? That's a fantastic question. So I'm going to start with Ash. How do you feel about this derby? Are you nervous, excited? What's your initial take?
I feel like I've been around him for too long that he's actually gotten in my head a bit because he's been singing it the whole week about we're gonna beat you. You don't stand a chance. So I'm going in a little stressed, and obviously we didn't end our previous game before the international break very well. We're obviously going into this having just come off the back of a loss.
Back-to-back losses. There was another one before that.
Thanks for that reminder.
Yeah.
Okay, you can forget about it.
Let's just move along. And then obviously United are coming into this with a win against the great Burnley of the Premier League. They're so ready to go. And so, like, all jokes aside, I am pretty nervous for this. I don't feel confident going into this because I don't feel confident yet in the team entirely. Like, even early on this season, I'm like, oh, PTSD from last season. Why are we doing that? Like, the game against Brighton, it was like watching a balloon deflate. That's how I would describe it, because we were there in the beginning, showed up, it's all of that. And then towards the end, it's like, as soon as we drop off, the heads go down. And it just reminds me too much of you guys. This is how you guys used to be. And so, no, thank you. I don't want that. So I'm hoping that this weekend I can kind of just like pass the relay baton back onto United to be sad. So
okay, so I see we're trying to get some positive vibes going in the opposite direction. Yeah, trying to take it from the Manchester United side over to the City side. Speaking of positive vibes, Mubin, I'm sure you're probably feeling very good about the upcoming game.
Like I said in my intro, I'm always feeling good. I'm always optimistic. But I think we stand a good chance. Like I said, when I was on the show a couple of weeks ago, we started the season off well against Arsenal. It's just that in that final third, it's just not sort of clicking at the moment. But I think once a couple of goals go in from players that work out, and then the confidence of the guys will be up. And I think there's probably no better time to face City than now, seeing that they haven't hit their straps yet. But on the flip side of that coin, City can turn up at any day. So we also got to be wary about that. But in saying that, I'm I'm pretty confident in our defense. They've shown their mettle, since the beginning of the season compared to what we have shown over the past couple of seasons. So not really too phased that, someone like Ireland's going to, 100%.
Yeah. Miguel, so on that note, what has impressed you the most so far this season? Has it been the defense, or has it been the pep or pop in the attack from Mbumo and Matthias Cunha?
I think both those points are fantastic, the differences, but the most important change I've seen in the team is the unity amongst the squad. It feels like some of the players, the toxic players that have left, now that they are gone, it seems like the players seem to want this together versus having like just one player that's carrying the team, like we've seen over the past seasons with Bruno. I've been very excited about our attack. I'm obviously hoping for more goals, especially from Cunha. He's been so...
Just goals, full stop.
Been coming in clutch for us recently. So the attack obviously is very exciting because last season we hardly scored any goals, and we're hoping that this season we can improve on that. And that's exactly why we brought in 2 Premier League proven goal scoring machines from last season in struggling teams. Well, they did better than us. Well,
that must be a better pill to swallow.
Anyway,
to
answer your question, the unity of the players, I've noticed the difference, which I think is more important than anything else. Someone's at the door.
I think it's your first date for the evening, probably Sir Alex.
It might be Postecoglu already saying Forest's job is too difficult. Mr. Marinakis was just too much.
Yeah, it's enough.
So Migs obviously taking the diplomatic route with saying that it's the unity, and he doesn't want to give me defense or attack. So I'm going to throw it over to AF to give me something a bit more specific there. I needed to choose one. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Defense or attack, what's impressed you more?
Before I answer that, let's just get to this question from Leandro. Your question for Migs is, when does he think United will win 5 in a row?
Damn,
because
that's a real question.
Poor United strand needs a haircut, man.
He's about to become Rapunzel at this rate.
We
it's
still
not going very
need to
well.
win 2 in a row first. So, Leandro, we need to first we need to get our second one in a row against City on Sunday.
It's not going to happen, though.
And then
Amorim doesn't
hopefully in December, I feel like December maybe, around that period, when the fixtures, I haven't had a great look at it, but I know there's a decent round of fixtures where we can get 5 in a row. But that's the delusional side of me speaking. We'll see.
I love that. Ziyaad, to get to your question, I think the attack has honestly impressed me the most. I saw a stat sheet a couple of days ago where United have been they're in the top 2 of almost every attacking stat in the Premier League for the first 3 games. So I think that's makes me cautiously optimistic.
Riyad's got his head in his hands there.
And compared to last season where we just couldn't do anything right, I'm taking the small wins right now.
Yeah, I mean that's all you can do. Riaz, you want to comment there? I see you got something going through your mind.
No, I don't really want to comment. It's just that it's sad.
So share the joke, man. We also want to laugh.
It's the metrics that is funny, man. It's just, but I understand that I suppose what he said ended off very nicely, where he's comparing the team to last season, which is so true because last season they were nowhere on the attack, and this season it really looks like they're doing better. So that's at least a positive. But I mean, I was going to say I'm going to back Ash in this little 4 situation that we're going on because there's 3 United fans on the right. Ziyaad, you have to be impartial technically.
So speaking of that, because I had the sixth sense that you were going to zag, obviously. So what I wanted to know from you with regards to that is, why do you think City have a chance? What is it that you see that they can do that will give them a good result this weekend?
They have my favorite midfielder in the world, Johnny Reinders. So that basically gives them a plus in my book. And but yeah, I think that, I mean, City don't lose also 3 in a row. Pep has barely lost 2 in a row. So are they going to lose 3 in a row? Probably not. And United don't win to win it either. So
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Then we're definitely going to win because that's how it works.
That is true. Usually that would be the way it goes. Usually that would be the way it goes for sure. But yeah, I just think that the firepower that City have is unmatched, to be honest with you. Maybe Liverpool now after the signings, but I just think that the firepower is going to be ridiculous. And even though United's defense has been very, very strong, not just this season, but last season also, they've been decent on the defense. I just think that City, at the end of the day, will have too much for them. And not that City will it actually will be won and lost with City's defense, I think. So if City can somehow find a way to keep United out, because the defense is the dodgy side for City, I think. So if they can find a way to keep United out, that will be where the game is won and lost at the end of the day.
That's a good point to make, and I think I want to touch on that afterwards. I'll come back to the defense for City. Obviously, there's a United defense question that I also have. But just to bring Ash back in here, obviously, there's the news now that Omar Mamouche got injured on international duty. Who do you see lining up in those front three spots for City? Obviously, Haaland is probably a shoe-in, but who do you see on either side of him? There's the injury to Cherki as well. So what do you think that front three is going to look like on the weekend?
I think it might be a case of Doku comes in on the left. And then I know that Savinho is back. I don't know if he'll start. It'll be interesting to see. But we also know that Pep really loves to put Bernardo Silva on the lineup. So I think that we also might see that. But I think if we can't have players that are afraid to take on other players. Do you know, like we need the Dokus to be there. We need creativity. We need something, okay? Because sometimes it just feels like they get there and then they can't remember what the next step is. And then it's like, we got to go back. And now we start again and we get there and then again, we just lose it. Or there's chances like Haaland in the previous game in the first half, 7 of the chances, 5 of them came from him. And obviously he only got 1 goal. So yeah, we need more goals. We need to see what he did last night, for example. But we also can't be over-reliant on just one guy. We did that with Rodri.
Yeah.
That was fun. What happened then? Do you know what I mean? So I definitely think we're going to have to bring in the creativity. So I'm actually hoping to see Doku and Savinho. And I'm hoping that somehow over the summer, they both realized how to finish. Because that's their major problem. They do a lot of this fancy footwork and it looks really cool and they do get past players, but there's no end product. And a lot of the times, especially in Savinho's case, because he wants to go for it and he wants to eventually get a goal, he makes the wrong decision for the team because someone else will be open or like it's just, so when you have that kind of pressure on to score and like the forwards obviously don't want to put it all on Haaland, I mean, like it can get in your mind. So I just want to see the creativity. So I'm going to say Doku and Savinho.
That's an interesting choice, because I think what you want to see with United system is can your wide players attack one-on-one? Because in the middle, Haaland's going to be marked quite tight with the 3 central defenders that they use. Might find it difficult. And actually, what I picked up in the recent, I think it was the last game or the one before, Rico Lewis actually gets into some advanced positions. So he'd have to be tracked in the midfield. So AF, how do you feel about United's midfield being able to track those runners like Reinders, like Rico Lewis, in the center of the field?
Absolutely terrible. That's how I feel about it. I think that if he gets his combination wrong for that central midfield, City will run right through us, and the game will be over before it even starts. The Casemiro Bruno pivot has worked to a degree. And
I
then
saw that,
Casemiro,
Miguel. I saw that.
Yeah, wait. Let me finish. But Bruno playing so deep and so far away from the boss hinders United as well. So I would like to see a Casemiro Kobe Mainu pivot start because Kobe is more athletic, but Casemiro is only going to last for about 65 minutes, and then he goes off, comes on, and we completely lose the plot from that point forward. So
yeah,
I'm not confident with our midfield.
Yeah, fair enough. On that point, Mubin, I see you there, but like Amarim, because I pushed you back from playing up front to the back, you're just going to hang on a little, and Miguel's going to go first. The Kobe Mainu situation, obviously, he played for England, got subbed, showed a bit of emotion, which, he wasn't known for in the past. So he's starting to come out of his shell a little bit, obviously, with the situation at United, asking for a move, a loan, a transfer, whatever. Do you see a future for him at United, and can he contribute, or can he win Amorim over to get that opportunity to be a starter for them?
Well, firstly, I hope he can, because I would be so upset if he had to leave United. So upset. I really love him. He's such an incredibly underrated footballer that United should be playing already now. And I think he needs to start on the weekend, because especially the energy that you were talking about, that has been lacking in the midfield. Mainu is that player that will bring that. My worry with Casemiro is just, you see, Casemiro, it's like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I don't think Casemiro Bruno will work. I'm just worried about that. I think even Mainu and Ugarte, I think that was the two against Arsenal. I think it was those two. And they were pretty decent.
So.
I could be wrong.
Mainu didn't play.
No. Sorry, not in pre-season. We saw some of Mainu and Ugarte. I remember seeing them. Where was it? Anyway,
I think it was the Bournemouth game in pre-season that they started together. Yeah.
Yes. And there's something about the dynamic between them, which also gives Mainu a bit more license to go forward and show his strengths on the ball that I do like. Whereas I don't know. I do see Mainu in the club, and I hope that things work out with Amorim. I think with Bruno nearing the end of his United career, Mainu would potentially be the one that takes over the reins, and I would hope that he stays until that moment when Bruno does leave. So I see a future with him. I hope he stays, and I really don't want him to go.
Yeah, I think with Mainu, it's going to be interesting to watch that story unfold. Mubin, I'm going to bring you in here because Leandro has a question for Ash about would she start Foden on the weekend. Obviously, she went with Savinho and Doku, so that's a no. But Mubin, since you are Mubin Ahmad and you have to defend, do you prefer having Foden running at you or Savinho or Doku? Who do you prefer, obviously, as a United fan, for City to start? So basically, who's the weak link for you?
I probably want Savinho to be running at me. Or either Doku. I think Doku has been horrendous since the beginning of the season. It's like Ash said, they have all these skills and they're able to get past you with a bit of pace maybe, but there's no finished product. They're not polished. Whereas Foden, I mean, we all know, at least I think he's a bit of a maestro. He just doesn't get enough playing time consistently. I think he's a genius. I wouldn't want him to be running up against me. I'd rather go with either Savinho or Doku.
Yeah, I think that probably echoes the sentiments of a lot of United fans. I can see a lot of nodding. So yeah, probably better that. And Foden is off form, sadly, but he's obviously really good. I think he'll make a comeback at some point. And speaking of comebacks, Riaz, I'll bring you back in here. Have you been keeping an eye on Jack Grealish at Everton?
You know this. I obviously have. I love him so much. I love watching him play. Having him on my screen every week, doing the things that he does is amazing. I love it. And I'm so happy that he got that move.
So Ash, for a question for you. Now, obviously, see...
You what?
Riaz? Yeah. I agree. You feel that way about a lot of players.
No, just Grealish specifically. I like. It's just nice to see him play.
Yeah, he's got. I know Riaz's type, man, and Grealish is Riaz's type.
Yes.
AQ has a very good question.
That's exactly it.
AQ has a fantastic question. Can you switch Mubin to landscape? I think AQ, you're gonna need to take that offline because for 133 episodes we've tried to get him on landscape, and we've just accepted him for who he is. We're not like Ruben Amorim. We let people explore and we accommodate them. We don't force them into our system. You understand?
I'm on portrait because it makes me seem tall in the defense. So
I love that. Tell him. Stand your ground.
So after all these decoy runs, Ash, coming back to you, how do you feel seeing Grealish thrive at Everton? Basically after the handbrake has been taken off and he's just free and doing his thing.
I'm so happy for him. I love him. This is not something I've been shy about, the fact that I love Jack Grealish, and I love the fact that he's doing well there. Obviously, I'm upset about the fact that couldn't be given to us, and I don't necessarily think that's because of him. Obviously, it's a completely different. He didn't necessarily get to play with that kind of freedom. But for me, I'm like, it didn't work out. It is what it is. Unfortunately, it's a talent we just couldn't utilize in the correct way, which looking back is sad because, and especially now, I'm like, sorry, he has 4 assists already. What do you mean? But as someone that likes him as a player and enjoys him, I'm like so happy for him. And I hope that he continues to shine, like honestly, because to have a talent like that, and I know a lot of people call him overrated and all this stuff. And I think if he'd never had that price tag over him, I think it would be a very different situation, which is unfortunate because it's not necessarily, obviously he likes the money and all the others, but you know what I'm trying to say. So, so I'm just glad that he's in a place where he's being utilized correctly and he can make an impact and he looks happy. I mean, when a footballer is playing, when they're happy and when they're like so focused and in it, it makes such a difference, and you can see it with him.
Yeah.
Can,
So
can I
what
just
that
pose a
obviously
quick
leading.
question?
Yeah, go for it.
If you don't mind, to Ash, do you maybe feel it's sort of some sort of syndrome at City? Like if you look at the likes of a Grealish, Leroy Sané, to a certain extent Foden, where all these guys come to the club, at the early 20s, whatever, with promising young wonder kids, so to say, and they just don't get the scope or enough playing time, and they sort of lose their way, and if they go to another club, and okay, I think Sane, they sort of or find themselves again, and show the mettle.
I think when players come to City, especially obviously in this case under Pep, they kind of know what they're getting themselves into. One, it's a lot of competition as well. Even, I mean, the fact that Pep wants to make the squad smaller and all that kind of stuff, that's maybe kind of also sorting out that situation a little bit. But the internal competition is already like, you have to show up every day. You have to compete. It's a little bit cutthroat in the sense that you can be dropped. And then like Grealish, he got injured, didn't come back the way I think he could have. Because like, for example, Grealish's contribution to the treble winning season was so important. He was incredibly important. So if anyone says to me that he was a flop at City, for me, I'm like, I don't know what, like, maybe it wasn't a consistent thing. Do you know what I mean? Like he did that within that season. Everyone else was on it. It worked out and he still goes home and he has technically won 5 trophies.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Win.
So
yeah,
exactly. So I think there's a lot of competition at City, but which you already know that. And because Pep is so particular and tactical and it has to go because if you get that right, the outcome is to score a goal, and that's how you win games. So the plan is always there in terms of the way that I think Pep does things. Yeah. It just comes to a case where you take creative players or players like Jack Grealish, for example, where you can't have that freedom because everyone is doing what they're supposed to do. Everyone is putting their piece of the puzzle together. And if you're not coming with a creative, this is my puzzle piece, and it's not the one Pep gave you, like that's not going to come together. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think I would say it's a twofold.
That's the problem Henry had with Pep at Barca. Because he wanted to do his own thing, and they clashed all the time.
And sometimes that is a case where, but like for example, Grealish was still very vocal about the fact that he loved to play under Pep, and I think there were different things that he learned there. It just wasn't the journey that obviously I think he would have wanted. They're not going to put a statue outside the stadium, kind of thing. But they will remember his contribution during the most historic season, or like a treble. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I think that's the end of my point.
I think just to bring it all together, ultimately what you want to see from Foden now is if his creativity will be allowed to come out or if it's going to go down the same path as Grealish. And ultimately, that's the thing that we're probably going to have to look at City the most is players like Reinders who have come in, players like Doku Savinho. They thrived with the ball at their feet and taking people on, and making decisions that are not, I would say, in terms of patterns of play, they did things more instinctive. So just to allow some freedom for that, I guess, is what you want to
We
see
need
going
it.
forward.
We need it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yo.
all teams. I think there's a general feeling from a lot of people that football is kind of just patterns. It's gone like too far that way, where
Yes, it
the individual flair and that second of doing something crazy, man. Like Kudus did, the ball's coming over and he controls it in this weird way. But it's these things that make football like fun and that
Yeah.
flair that's kind of been pushed out a little bit. But with this United derby, I'm going to just put everyone on the spot before we move on with regards to some of the other quick topics I want to cover. Just some predictions from everybody. Got a feeling from the group. I kind of see the United fans quite optimistic. I know Ash a bit nervous. Riyadh supporting City a bit. So we'll just go around, get some predictions. How do we see this match going? And I'm going to start with Riyadh because I know that he's just going to listen to everyone else and choose the opposite result. So we'll let him go first.
Put it on the fence.
So Riyadh,
Put
how
it
do you
on the
see this
fence.
game panning out?
This year 133 episodes and now you're countering me finally. It's I see how it is. It's fine. I'm gonna go 4-2 Manchester City. Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
absolutely love that. I really hope you are right.
This sounds like a prediction from a guy who's going to do a mic drop now and disappear.
4-2 Manchester City. I just think there's gonna be goals in this game, and I just think that they have too much power. I think United are too confident, even though I do think that there's a possibility that they can win. But I just think they're too confident for no reason because they beat Burnley. It's weird. But yeah, I think City are too powerful at the end of the day.
Okay, so to go to the opposite spectrum of that prediction, AF, your thoughts?
Yeah, like Rami says, Manchester wins in the end. Everybody in the chat, give us your predictions as well. My heart says 2-1 to United. My mind says a draw, but I'm just gonna go with my heart. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice. The 2-1. Migs, you've been a bit quiet, so let's get you in here. Do you see anything different to the 2-1?
I see that United are going into this as a team people do still expect to lose. Remember, City are at home. City are still seen as title contenders for the season versus us as people, as a lower half of the table team,
As a
right?
mid-table team.
As a mid-table team. That's
Just
what we
say
were
it.
last. That's what we were. Yeah,
You
self-aware.
are.
I know it was a tough one, but I'm actually feeling the same with you, AF, with your heart. My heart is in sync with yours because I feel a 2-1 win as well. A repeat with Ahmad scoring a winner. Wouldn't that be beautiful?
There
Not
we
for,
go.
not for
There we go.
everyone.
Incredible. So that's what I'm predicting.
Speaking of Ahmad, your prediction?
Before I give my prediction, I think Riaz's prediction is probably going to happen on his Xbox before the game starts. I don't know where he's going to win the game 4-0.
4-2, guys.
4-2, sorry, same thing.
Giving you
4-2.
some goals.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm always optimistic. I'm going to go 3-1 United.
Oh, that's
Nice. We got
I
a nice
think-
variety.
That's so interesting.
I think on Sunday the chemistry is gonna kick off with our front three, and we're gonna put 3 in the net. And
City
we're gonna
have
win
the
it.
to
Don
win.
in
Nice.
goal, though. They have the Don in goal.
That's true. They do have the Don in goal.
Well, we'll show him
So,
what the
Ash, for you,
what the Premiership's about.
your prediction?
Ah, man. Okay, so I also have a bit of a war between my heart and my head. The same war as AM, actually, because I think that this game could be a draw. It definitely could. I don't want to accept a United win. That's just like, no ways. You're not telling me we did that 2 seasons in a row, like that kind of nonsense. No ways. That PTSD, I'm getting that already, just thinking of that. So that's not going to work. But I am going to say 2-1 to City because I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals. They generally are, okay, bar the 6-3. Obviously, that was a fantastic once-off, but it's generally quite low scoring. And I don't, because we haven't been scoring an excessive amount of goals, I don't think that this is necessarily going to be the game in which that's going to happen. So I'm going to stick to 2-1 to City.
Yeah,
Just to clarify,
anyone
because
puts
no
me
one
on
knew
the
what I
spot.
was saying.
Yeah, no, Ziyaad, it's
just
your
to
turn.
just to bring it all back, just calm everything down. 1-1. I'm doing the Riyaz. In his honor, I'm going on the fence. 1-1. I think it might be a bit more cagey than we anticipate. It seems like everyone's anticipating a free-flowing game, but if City do have a lot of possession, United are very good on the counter. They get their ball forward to
And
the
we
front,
weak.
and they got pace
Yeah.
up front. Exactly. So it might play into their hands if City have a lot of possession. But I'm gonna go 1-1 draw. And I see a couple of interesting points here in the chat. The Leandro
I
2-0
can't
to the
believe there
home
are two
team.
of them, though.
Yes.
Yeah. At some point we'd find someone for Riaz. Hamza says 2-1 City. There was another one there. I think Ramiz agreed with one of you about your score. Or did I see? I
He's
missed
probably
that.
going to go
Anyway,
United. Yeah, there you go.
oh, there's a 2-1 United. I saw some of the last gamer. So 2-1 United there, and a red card coming, Leandro. You might actually be right because Bruno needs his penalty. So one of the City players to get a red card so he can score his pen.
I'll take his
We
penalty.
should be good to go. Of course, I mean,
I'll
I take it
shamelessly
also because he's
celebrate
in my
that.
FPL team. So I'm not complaining.
As long as the ref doesn't bump him again,
Bro, Bruno was like one of my
Throw him
first
off.
picks in FPL.
That's
I
impressive.
was
How's that
upset when he
working
missed
out?
that penalty.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's going okay. I mean, other than that Sky penalty, it's going okay.
Still
I
coming
mean, I'm
down.
actually over FPL, but we'll leave that for
So
another day.
early on.
Nah, man, it's just let's not get into it. It's a long story.
Yeah, it's going to hit us with a 30-minute monologue of why FPL is not
I
good.
can't. All I'll say is I'll make it simple. I just hate that everyone can pick the same players. That's all. It needs to be different, like that draft style. I enjoy that more. But anyway, so we're gonna move on. Obviously, there are 18 other teams in the league, so we want to just chat a bit more about some of them. So what I wanted to do next is just go through some winners and losers from the transfer window. So just to get your opinions on that in the chat. Also, let us know who do you think won the transfer window, who do you think lost it. Riaz, how are you doing for time there, my man? Are you requiring a substitute or you good to go?
We can go for. I'll be here for another couple of minutes.
Ah, nice. Okay, so since you are still going to be here, give us a team that underwhelmed you in the transfer window. So who's the biggest loser of the transfer window for you?
Oh, that's a good question. Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa underwhelmed me. I think that PSR and all that stuff aside, I think it's unfortunate that they were in such a strong position and they can't strengthen their team as they would want to. So I think
They got Sancho.
Exactly. That makes the team
Great
worse.
freedom
That's why he
banter.
said strengthen.
Yeah, no, weaken.
Migs, this is a family show. No cuss words allowed.
Yeah, it's disappointing, especially since I thought they would want to bring in Asensio on a full-time basis because that worked out so well for them last time. So I think that they've kind of underwhelmed this season or in this transfer window, and it's unfortunate because I think it's going to hamper them trying to go back for top 4 this season.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I was a bit surprised they didn't do more, considering how well they did last season. And they probably just needed a little bit extra to get over the hump because they obviously missed out in the last game. And they had that weird goalkeeping situation. And he's still there, which is so strange. But another thing just on this bomb squad, it's so strange, right? For us South Africans, bomb squad is normally like a positive thing. It's what wins us the Rugby World Cups. But then for United, it's like a completely negative thing. So whenever I hear bomb squad, I'm like, wait, that's supposed to be good. And then it's like, oh, but they're talking about those players again. I digress. AF, coming to you. Give me a winner for the transfer window.
I think Arsenal. Won this transfer window. They literally have two sides.
Yeah, we have to win something because we can't win the league, right, Ramiz?
Yeah, I saw this side by side starting 11 thing for like the depth that Arsenal has, and they literally have two extremely strong 11s that they can field at any time without repeating a player in any position. So I think that shows how well the recruitment team has done. Andrea Berta has outdone himself. And I mean, if Arteta can't produce anything now, then I think that'll be it for him this season.
Nice. Okay, so Migs and Ash, I'm gonna let you guys choose who wants to do a winner and who wants to do a loser. You can choose.
I think
Oh,
we actually agree.
We actually we're
Would
Oh,
you
ooh,
believe?
spoken a
this is
lot
Would
about
interesting.
you
transfers.
believe?
Yeah, so
And
my in
we both
sync
actually
version
think
4.0.
4.0. We both feel like, for obviously our own reasons, I'm sure, that Liverpool had the best transfer window.
Yeah.
I think they've had one of the best transfer windows in like Premier League history.
It's crazy.
Honestly, remembering that they won the season last season, they've also offloaded some players and made some decent money. So they're not even like they're spending so much money that they don't have. Like they had the money, they've spent it very well. I think the players they've brought in have covered all positions. Your wingers, your even Mamadashvili in goals. Isak is, I mean, breaking the Premier League transfer record twice in one window is crazy.
Yeah.
And getting Wirtz and Isak, a Premier League proven striker, incredible talent. I think Liverpool are the team to watch this season. It might be a bit difficult to integrate everyone and for it to be perfect. Like on paper, it looks like they're the best. They're going to win everything. But if it does work, which it can,
it will be.
They're going to be a really dominant force alongside with Arsenal, who I also think had a great transfer window as well as Chelsea. I think Chelsea also went quite under the radar with their business in and out. Definitely.
Yeah, no, they do a lot of business.
Yeah,
they have to stay under the radar to
business.
stay out of trouble.
From a loser perspective, I would say it's Fulham and Brentford. Fulham, I mean, they have basically brought in no one. I think they made one signing. I can't remember who it was. I mean, even the manager's been quite vocal, Marco Silva, about the fact that they haven't got people in. And if you're not strengthening your squad while everyone else around you is, and some teams in an exponential way, like the winners of the transfer window, for example, then I think you're going to struggle, especially as the season goes on. And then with regards to Brentford, like they've lost the two players, Wissa and Mbeumo, that made insane contributions to their seasons in general. So I don't know yet if they've gotten in.
Yeah, manager.
And the manager. Oh my goodness.
Big
yes, of
loss,
course.
yeah.
So it's like,
that's
crazy. And I know I think they've had good results, but I just from like a transfer window perspective, I don't know, like those are tough players to replace with that kind of quality.
Yeah. They also lost their captain as well.
Yeah.
What the guys in the chat, I see your comments and I'll come back to you. I don't want to leave my man high and dry on the right wing there, so we'll bring him in quickly. Mubin, for you, winner, loser?
Winner, as much as it pains me to say the L word, Liverpool. I think phenomenal business, and like Mick said, for once they've signed a Premier League proven striker. They've splashed money on someone that's going to put the ball in the back of the net. I think spending money on someone like Nunez a couple of seasons ago couldn't find the net. It's sort of been the blueprint of Liverpool's transfer market, but I think they're getting it right. Iketike, brilliant young talent, looked promising in the first few games, and I think they had the best window in my opinion. And loser, there's quite a few. I think you guys mentioned them, but I'd also agree with Brentford. I think losing the two strikers up front and the manager, like you guys alluded to, I think it might hinder them, sort of down the line in the season.
Yeah.
So time will tell.
With the Liverpool thing, they did so well all around the forward line, the midfield, the central defense. They have Virgil van Dijk, Konate, and Joe Gomez.
Yeah.
If any of the three of them, if Virgil gets injured, they have Giovanni Leone, is 18 years old, as their centre back depth with Joe Gomez. So I think that could come back to bite them a bit later on.
Yeah. So I think we discussed it. I think was it at your place, April? We said that they will get found out very quickly at the back. I can't remember who they played Was it Arsenal the first game?
No, we played
No, that
Arsenal
was the
first.
most recent.
We played Arsenal.
First game.
Yeah.
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. Yeah. And they were fine and quickly. I mean, the same with the Newcastle game. It was unlucky that Gordon got sent off. They were absolutely hammered in that first 15 minutes. So, yeah, you never know. I mean, they tried to sign Margay, but fell through in the 11th hour. So, yeah.
Yeah, they waited a bit too long to do that. But I think generally in agreement with most of what everyone said. The thing with Liverpool, I think they've gone back to a couple of years ago where they could outscore everyone. So then it doesn't matter if you're conceding 2 goals, 3 goals, they can easily outscore you. And I think that's probably what will save them. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that with the firepower they have, like that time, I think it was the season they signed Mane from Southampton. They could outscore anyone. They were winning 4-3, 4-2. And then when they got Van Dijk and Alisson, it just showed things up. And I think they're probably going to go the same route. I wouldn't be surprised if they go back in for Gay in January. All they need to do is get there at the top of the log and they'll be fine. With Liverpool, I don't know if any of you remember my hot take, but I said Wirtz is going to be like Werner. And so far, I'm looking good. If anyone wants to jump on that bandwagon with me, I got lots of space. But that's something I'm sticking with. I said it right at the beginning. AF's laughing because he knows. I told him to keep the snippet on that one. Losers, I think for me overall, I mean, obviously I agree with Riaz, the Brentford thing. I just didn't like how players left. I think that's been the issue for me. With players forcing their way out, and I'm not sure I'm ready for this in football. Where players hold teams hostage, and then it's like, I was promised, I was this, I was that, and just the way people are leaving teams, I didn't really like that. So for me, that left the biggest sour taste. I think from the Brentford perspective is how we left. But I think Brentford will be okay. I predicted them to get relegated, and I'm early on. I'm thinking I'm probably going to be wrong because their infrastructure is pretty good. They find these random guys, man, like them, Brighton. There's a couple of these teams, they're just able to replenish summer. I mean, Bournemouth lost their whole defense and they actually don't look bad. I mean, they sold 3 of their back 4 and they look okay. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Hamza, obviously, give Wirtz time. Yes, 100 million's worth of time. We just spoke about Grealish and the price tag. There's a couple of other players. You got the price tag. The spotlight comes on you, my man. It's that simple. You pay 120 for Isak. If he doesn't get 25 goals, it's a failure. It's that simple based on math, right? I'm not saying I always see it that way, but, it is what it is, right? If you're paying X, the output has to be there. So you break your transfer record with someone, they better be good. And yeah, I'm going to stick with that. Buy him some extra time. That's a good point, Ramesh. With all that money, he can definitely buy pretty much anything he wants. Isak's going to be interesting because I think the way he left Newcastle is going to make it a bit difficult for him to perform. He's either going to go all out, like other players do, because he's now got a point to prove, or it could weigh him down. So it's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. Because I mean, the mental side of the game is something that it's underrated for a lot of us. We don't understand often what these players are going through, when they go through all these experiences and what it leads to. So coming back to a question there was for Riaz in the chat, how do you feel about Xavi coming to Spurs? And remember, it's Xavi Simons, right? You still got Frank as your manager.
The Frank engine is still around. I'm cautiously optimistic. It's difficult as a Spurs fan to be completely optimistic about anything about the club. So cautiously optimistic. We needed a 10. I think he'll switch between the 10 and the left, but I think he'll mostly play in the hole behind the striker. And I'm very excited for what he looks like. He looks like someone who can actually take on people, and we need that kind of creativity around the front there. So I'm cautiously optimistic, but the problem is that our
just to pause you there quickly, I just remembered something. So did you watch his unveiling?
No. Before the game?
There was a Premier League video that came out today with highlights of the first 3 weeks. And why did you guys copy Eze's walkout and unveiling? Eze from the club. So when he came out, people went crazy because he's basically coming home. Xavi came
Because
out
it
in the
was,
exact same thing. Had the jeans on, had his Spurs shirt on, walks out the car. It's like, who's this guy? It was
it was
so
planned.
weird. Like I just saw
It
it
was
today and I was
planned for
thinking,
Eze, but then they lost him.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
I'm not sure how many unveilings you actually get to watch, but I'm sure if you look at 25 of the 30 unveilings that took place this season, it will all be in the same. So I don't know why the Xavi is specific to the situation. But
I
it's
mean,
fine.
it made
Let
the
your
Premier
Bracken
League
off the
highlights.
bench.
So I was
Let
just
your
like,
Bracken off the bench and
what's
then
going
lose
on
all the
here?
game. Go to Liverpool and play defensive football and lose 1-0 and just take it home. It's fine. Just keep Eze on the
Yeah,
bench for
it
the
was
whole
far to
season.
take home, to be honest.
It's
Another thing
stupid
here
and
from
silly.
Leandro. I like the Spurs comments coming in. It's quite nice. Kudus is going to be hard to take. Yeah, I agree. I think Kudus is a fantastic signing. I like the way he plays. But like some of the other comments earlier, that final ball from him is a bit lacking.
Been good
But
so
I
far.
think with his connection with Richarlison's been good. So he can build on that. But he's very exciting. I've always liked him. And I actually felt like a mix to bring you back in here because I feel, I haven't heard your voice in a while here. But I always feel like with Eric Ten Hag, why did he not bring Kudus from Ajax? He bought all these other Muppets, but he could have brought Kudus. He had the chance.
You're scratching old wounds now because that was something I felt so passionately. Like, why not Kudus? Why Anthony? Come on. It was like, it doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense. But then if you look back at everything Ten Hag did, most of it is already starting to leave because what he did was just create unnecessary chaos.
I mean, he even had to
He
leave
left
by
also.
Leverkusen. So it's
Exactly. Then you know it's not
rough.
good. After 2 games,
Yeah.
he made history. He did.
But I think
His era came to
He
an
did.
end very quickly.
before it started. Okay,
Okay.
so that's one. I think I have one more segment left. Riaz, just to bring you back in here quickly.
Oh,
Thoughts
yeah,
about
before I
Daniel
leave.
Levy leaving Spurs? You happy? You sad? You don't care?
yeah,
You know who Daniel Levy is?
yeah. I mean, we've been trying to get him at the club for a while, and I will say that I'm happy that he's left, just because. I mean, he's taken the club off the field, right? Off the field, he's taken the club to new heights. He's changed the club completely. The stadium is amazing. All the infrastructure, everything off the field, even the concerts that he brings, all the profitability, everything on the business side of things, he was amazing for the club. And he's put us at the place where we are now, the most profitable club in the league or something like that. So all that is great. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. But there were so many times where we could have taken that next step to actually get some trophies in the cabinet. Even one trophy, please. Thank goodness we have one now. But there were so many times where we could take that next step to kind of on the field make a difference. And he
Firing
didn't.
Jose Mourinho a couple of days before the FA Cup final.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous.
He did some crazy
So,
things.
yeah, so
But like
I'm
you
just
say, he
happy that
brought
he's
the
gone.
club into this century, and he
Yeah,
did it
he
well.
did.
So the club is set up well going forward. AF, on that note, do you see a sale in the future for Spurs in the near
So
future? Do you think they're selling?
There's been all this chatter about it. I don't think Inek ends up selling that Joe Lewis and his family trust. I think they are very much ingrained in the football club. I can't see it happening at least for the next year or so. In time, it could change, but there's a lot coming in NFL, like Riaz said also. Okay, Riaz is heading out. There's like
Just like
all of
Levy,
those.
Marias.
Yeah, all of those streams of income coming in, it's only going to benefit them, and maybe they're just going to try and sign more deals, try to get the club even more profitable, and then within the next 5 years, they'll probably try to go their own ways.
Yeah,
But,
because the
I
whole
think right
purpose
now-
of turning a profit like that is to be able to sell, because that's the only way you make money in football. So if you can increase the value of your club and then sell, that's how you make money. So let's see what they do. I think they have a good squad this season. Their manager's interesting. It depends now who they get to replace Daniel Levy, because that can actually influence a lot of things, going forward. And Migs and Ash, get your opinion on this quickly. Mubin, you want to say something before I ask my question?
I think, isn't Mason Mount the interim chairman?
Mason Mount.
Mason Mount. A different Mason
I'm
Yeah.
Mount.
lost, bro.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Sorry, not Mason Mount. What am I thinking? I'm thinking United. What is this?
I was thinking,
What is
wow,
this?
Wow.
he's doing
Mason.
things. He's
One of
growing.
one of the ex-players that was the manager. What's his name now? The
Ryan
midfielder.
Mason.
Ryan Mason.
Ryan Mason.
Ryan
No,
Mason,
no.
yeah.
No, there's
Yes.
some business guy that's the interim chairman now at the moment. Somebody from
No.
the
I
family.
didn't
That was
expect
actually
it.
a deep pull from you. I'm impressed. That's a serious pull there, deep cut. I like it. But
Yeah, I
he
think-
was
I think-
interim manager a few times.
Well, maybe I read the report wrong, but I think they're preparing the club for sale. That's my take on it.
I also think
There's-
they're
there's
preparing
no-
for sale.
There's no
But-
way that Daniel Levy with such thick skin over all these years just allows himself to be pushed out now
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
Leandro made a good
So-
point. The value went up from 800 million to 1.3 billion. So if it keeps
Yo.
rising, I see a sale might be on the cards. So back to my question. I know how AF and how Mubin feel about the hiring of Ange Postecoglu at Nottingham Forest. How do you two feel about that? Is it good? Is it bad? What are the pros, cons? Let me hear your thoughts on the matter.
We both agree that like especially the way Nuno went out, it was like whoa, because it's not that he wasn't producing what needed to be produced on the field. It was the ish condish, behind
The
the
relationships
scenes,
outside
the
of
relationships,
football.
Yeah.
and we know that their owner is incredibly hands-on, quite literally hands-on to players. Gibbs White, you're not leaving, kind of thing. So I think it's so interesting that Ange is back in the Premier League. don't know if you wanna
I don't
add.
know if it's a good shot for Forest, hey, if I'm being honest. Like,
I agree.
especially with the football they were playing and the football that Ange plays. Now, is he going to like change? Because he was so set in his ways with everything at Spurs. And I just don't know if he's going to be the same at Forest, knowing the
Interesting.
owner
There might be a
and how much.
personality clash there.
I don't know, but they're both Greek as well. So there's
Okay.
maybe they
Yeah.
understand each other better. I don't know, but I don't think it's a good move for either of them. I don't see it working. I see him being sacked this season before the end. Honestly,
So you echo the sentiments of Mubin and AF, who both don't see it as a good fit. Mubin thinks it's so bad that he disappeared.
yeah,
Yeah, look. I think he went to go look for Mason Mount, possibly.
Maybe.
The thing for me with the Ange thing, look, you guys are all right with regards to the football issues, right? There's a stylistic fit, there's a issue with tactics, there's a whole lot of things, right? Obviously, Ange is outspoken, and being outspoken is what got Nuno the sack in the first place. But for me, as a neutral in terms of Forest, this is great content. To see Ange come into that team, see what he can do with his all-out attack and the comments that he makes. I mean, his press conferences are fun. So from a content perspective, I'm very happy
everyone
Ange is
else,
back
it's
in the
good.
league.
Yeah, for neutrals.
Exactly. But I think you guys are probably spot on with regards to his tactical fit. It's going to be definitely a big challenge. But who knows? Maybe he's got some tricks up his sleeve. Maybe he doesn't. And maybe it's just an exciting ride till Christmas. And then a new guy comes in. Who knows? But I'm here for it, Us content creators need content, right? I mean,
Yeah.
who
Thanks,
are we
Big
to
Ange.
complain? So, exactly. And honestly, with whoever gets sacked first, and I think it might be Graham Potter at West Ham. I think he's in big trouble.
Absolutely.
If he is at West Ham, I forgot it right. I
No.
Nuno might
He's
be
safe now.
very quickly.
He's safe now. He just re-signed Lucas Fabianski 2 months after releasing him as a free agent. So,
Bro, those are the type of signings that get you
Tough
fired.
times, eh? I actually see Mourinho
Wow.
going to West Ham. I've been saying this for a while. I think Potter's
That's actually
gonna
not a
leave
bad
as well,
shout either.
and I
That's
see
a hot
Mourinho
take.
going to West Ham.
That's a nice hot
You heard
take.
it here first. Mourinho back in the Premier League, Ange at Forest, Mourinho at West Ham. That could be absolutely chaotic. But yeah, I think Nuno, whoever gets fired first in the Premier League, Nuno probably is going to be the leader in terms of getting that job. The odds-on favorite. Just to wrap up, any questions in the chat, let us know while we're wrapping up. I got one more question for everybody, but I feel like the answer is going to be the same. So, we'll go. I'll start with you guys, Migs and Ash. I'm guessing you're obviously going to be aligned on this one as well. That's a feeling I'm getting. International break at this time of the season. Are we for
What are
or
you
against?
thinking? No,
That's a big
against.
thumbs down. I
Heavily
see
against.
Mubin
The
shaking
season's
his
just
head.
started.
The injuries
This-
already.
The synergy's just working with players. Now you want to send them all over the world
To
go
get
get
injured.
injured,
Exactly.
or some get minutes, some don't. They're not
Can't.
all at the same place in terms of recovery for the next game. That's why this derby this
Yes.
weekend is also going to be so unpredictable, because all games after an international break are unpredictable.
Yeah.
We can't even look at
I
the
mean, did you-
form going into the games.
Did you see the picture with the Brazilians wearing oxygen masks because they played in Bolivia?
That was
So if you have
mad.
Brazilian players in your team, hey, that's a long flight coming back to England. Plus, they were in that altitude. It's going to be probably bench for any players coming from that far. Chelsea, João Pedro, probably not going to like
Yeah.
that as well. So quite interesting.
Or
I think for me,
Casemiro.
Bro, Casemiro needs a permanent oxygen tank.
No, he's
we-
already
we-
struggling
we-
to breathe, and now you have to take him to
Exactly.
Bolivia to struggle to breathe over there. Poor guy.
Are you recording from Bolivia? I'm joking. They probably have top-notch signal.
Now my signal is
Yeah.
bad because we had internet issue. Can you guys hear me?
We
Yeah,
can
we
hear
can.
you.
hear you now.
Because my video
We
is
can
still
hear
there.
you, but
Okay, that's fine.
yeah.
But you're moving like Onana
Look, some
in
cable-
penalty shootouts. Like,
Some cable got cut in the Red Sea and it's affecting our internet. I'm actually happy I made it this far.
No.
I was worried that I wouldn't make it this far, but we soldier on here. For me, just one thing, right? I'm gonna be a bit different here, but I don't mind the international break. I think that if they move the transfer window and close it before the season starts, then your teams are set. You get to see them for 3 games all together, and then they take the break. It's not that big of a deal. But I think it's because there's still all these last minute signings. So you sign a player, but you don't see them because they're gone on international duty, and then you have to wait like 10 days to see this guy come into your team, right? And
They
I
suck.
think that's where we probably lose the momentum as fans, because we're like, ugh, my team just got settled. This is the group I'm going to support for the rest of the season, and now they're gone on international duty. So I think the quick fix there is just close the window before the season starts. You got your team, and let's play. I mean, if Onana and Bayendier can't catch the ball, then that's it. That's the guys you decided to have. Coming back to the keepers, and on that note, AF, your thoughts on the new keeper? I know absolutely nothing about him, but I'd like to know something. So give us a quick tidbit. What to know?
You don't know anything about Sene Lamar, the greatest keeper that will be at Manchester United within the next 10 years. I'm joking. I don't know much about him.
I hear nothing, so it's either my fault or AF didn't get the question.
No, I got the question. Yeah, no, I don't think he's going to be number 1 right away. I think Alta is probably going to be in goal for the next few games, and maybe just
That's right. Yes, that's right.
There's no Carabao Cup to play Lamans in at the moment anyway. So yeah, he's probably gonna have to bide his time to get some game time. But I think when he does get game time, he'll probably take his chance. And from what I've seen or what I've read about, like all of these Belgian players talking about him and speaking very highly of him, it's not like he's 20 years old or 19 years old. He's 23, so he has been around already, and I think if he is called upon, he will bring the goods. That's my hope. And I think we lost Ziyaad permanently. Migs, what do you think about?
I forgot about that.
Lamens, I think I know just as much about him as you do. I've done the research trying to obviously, like, you watch the clips, you see the best saves, you see also the mistakes that he makes. But again, all goalkeepers have that error in them. I do like that he is, in hindsight now, I'm glad we got him over Martinez, because it is a 10-year project kind of thing where you want to have him be the next De Gea in terms of that longevity from being a young keeper at United and becoming a legend. So I hope that is his story. I would love to see him already play, but I'm sure we will see Bayindir in goals against City especially. He's already had a lot of pressure on him. It would be quite difficult. I don't see Amorim putting Lamens like straight away in the deep end, having to be goalkeeper against.
He didn't do it to Šeško.
Yeah, he didn't do it to Šeško. He hasn't done it to the only players. I mean, he said with Mbuma and Cunha, they're already Premier League proven. They have more pressure on them. They need to go right in and prove that like they can do this, because they've shown that they can. So now they must do it for United. But I think Lamens is going to be the same approach as Šeško, being eased into the team. I think to not put that pressure on him, especially with the goalkeeper issues we've had and the pressure on Onana when he was there and Bayindir. Definitely, that's my thoughts.
Cool. And on that note, we just saw in the chat now that Ziyaad had to leave. His internet wasn't agreeing with him at all. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. This was an amazing preview. Hopefully, the first of many collaborations between us.
We know how to get a hold of us.
Of course. Where can the people find you on all your social media platforms? And you can put 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, however many .0s you'd want.
Thank goodness. Like, we're really hoping it's not going to be a 4.0 situation. But on Instagram, you can find us at the Manchester Derby 3.0. And then on TikTok, it's at the Manchester Derby 2.0. That was the original one.
Yeah.
Nice one. And anything you guys got coming up that you guys want to plug?
Well, we have some exciting things happening. We haven't announced just yet.
Yeah.
But very, very exciting.
And very soon.
I know that gives you nothing. I know that doesn't really answer your question.
The worst when people do that.
But I promise it's going to be exciting. So just like, stay tuned.
You heard that, guys, in the chat. Stay tuned to the Manchester Derby on all of their socials to find out what they are cooking up. I'm pretty sure it's going to be something spectacular. Mubin, where can the people find you on social media?
Before I let them know where they can find me, I just want to say big ups to Bafana. I don't think we mentioned him, seeing that we're talking about the international break.
We aren't clear yet, though. We aren't clear yet, but big point. I mean, sort of Nigeria's laying third, and Benin seemed to have won last night. But I think we're still front runners with 2 games to go. I think there's a 5-point gap between us and Benin. So boys played well. So 3 points.
So 3-point gap.
Yeah, 3 points.
So
yeah.
Still tight,
Yeah, but I mean, big ups. I mean, we're still top of the table, and I think it's Rwanda and Zim to play. So highly optimistic there. So yeah, other than that, you can find me on Instagram at Mubin_Ahmed. I'm the only fossil in the group, so on Facebook, Mubin Ahmed. And yeah.
Cool. We have a comment here. Migs, has anyone said you look a bit like Karen Grealish?
So many people.
So many times. I get this a lot, especially since he's done his hair
like you.
Tied up. And it happens, especially when he signed for Everton. It was like, that was crazy.
Even I saw similarities. I was like, since when? Since when? What is going on here?
It's the hair.
It is the hair. I just want to jump in. Sorry, but someone asked if I'm pregnant. No.
Oh, that's not the news? That's not the news?
No,
that's not the news.
No.
I realized we should just
it's
put that
better
out.
Than that.
It's better. Can you believe it?
Glad we cleared that one up.
Yeah.
Cool. We are at Sportycast. You can find us on all social media platforms. We do sports updates every single day. Ziyaad diligently posts that on Threads, on Blue Sky, and on Twitter. So that's not only football, that's all types of sports, American sports included. So if you need to catch up with your sports news, then head to our socials. We have everything there. We are live every Wednesday night with this football show, 7 p.m. So nothing changes over there. I'm AF Barker 642 on all social media platforms. So if you do want to cry with me about Manchester United, you know where to find me. But yeah, that is all for us today. Thank you so much in the chat, everybody that participated. We appreciate you. Like this video, share this video, tap the subscribe button, share it with everybody that you know. And yeah, until next weekend, we are Sportycast. Peace.